Welcome to another episode of the Muffed Sports Show. I'm your host, Hayden Haynes, and join me this week, as always, is Seth Killen and Cody Hart.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Boys, we are back again. I got a big episode today talking about some playoff implications this week for the conference championship games, I should say, for college football. So we're going to dive into the most recent playoff rankings that came out Tuesday, and we're going to, give our thoughts on that, what we think it's finally going to end up being. And then we're going to dive into NFL Week 14 coming up. What we just, some big games we just saw last week. Playoff window is shrinking for a lot of people. We'll go and give our thoughts on who's officially cooked and is not going to have a chance to make it and who's a lock. So we know a couple already, but we're going to dive into that later. We might have some other fun random things at the end regarding NBA basketball. Just, I don't have it on the script, but some stuff I've been seeing recently that I'm interested in. Want to get your thoughts. But for the most part, we're going to dive into these playoff talks right now. So first and foremost, we had playoff rankings drop, and the biggest debate obviously was the bubble teams. One of our teams, Alabama, was in the mix on this bubble conversation.
Yep.
Also with them was Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Miami. How that shook up was basically Bama got the nod, so far this week to be in the playoffs, sitting at 11. Now, Miami was right behind them, and then following them was Ole Miss and South Carolina. A lot of people thought South Carolina should have made the rankings or the playoffs in the rankings this week. The thing that the committee said the most that they valued was Alabama's 3-1 record against the top 25. Comparing that specifically to Miami, who was 0-1 in their one ranked game, which was Syracuse. Now that Syracuse just beat them and got ranked this week. So really they didn't have, like we said the whole time, they haven't had a tough schedule. So the committee valued those Bama, wins against Missouri, South Carolina, and Georgia. They did lose to Tennessee on the road. Obviously, they had those two bad losses to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, but for whatever reason, and I mean, we kind of obviously thought this was going to happen, but the committee really is valuing the strength of schedule plus the record against the AP 25. So, a lot of Ole Miss fans, a lot of South Carolina fans are mad. I say one thing that I didn't agree with was, I mean, obviously, I think Alabama hasn't been playing great. I don't think they're a great playoff team at the moment. But the thing that people got to understand is we were always going to get a lot of 9-3 teams going into this 12-team playoff, because I saw a stat the other day talking about where a lot of 9-3 teams were ranked in the past like 5 to 6 years. A lot of
Yeah.
those teams were in the top 10. We had a lot of 9-3 teams from the SEC in previous years, whether it was 9-3 LSU with Jaden Daniels or 9-3 Ole Miss teams or whoever that were 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it might be. So, like, it's kind of one of those things where people just, at the time weren't thinking about it because it's just before, this was just a 14 playoff. So nobody thought about the rankings really when it came to like anything after that. Like a 93 team being ranked 7 or 8 at the time, it was like nobody cares. It's just whatever. You're going to a bowl game. Now it's only getting magnified because you're on that bubble and everybody's like, oh, 9-3 Alabama, 9-3 Ole Miss, like they don't deserve it. 9-3 South
hmm
Carolina does, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, we were, and the argument that you're hearing is there should have never been a 9-3 team in the playoff. Well, buddy, if you're one of those people, I hate to break it to you, it's going to happen almost every year now. So
hmm
Yeah.
we talked about it. It didn't maybe look like it a couple weeks ago, and we were like debating Alabama, Ole Miss. We're looking pretty strong, right? We had them in our top five. They wound up losing immediately after that. But at the time, we kind of thought there was going to be a playoff scenario where it was only two loss and under teams, like one undefeated team with Oregon, a couple one loss teams, and some two loss teams. But chaos happened. We have three lost teams. It's going to happen every year. I mean, sure, we might have one year where it's like everybody's pretty solid, like 10-2 or 11-1.
Yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
going to get a lot of these 9-3 top 12 ranked teams, and it's going to happen. So that's why I just wanted to go ahead and get out. I know I'm rambling, but I just wanted to say my piece about that. And I wanted to get one last thing off. And I don't agree that Miami is ahead of South Carolina and Ole Miss. I think they should have fell significantly because Ole Miss and South Carolina have played a harder schedule and had more ranked wins. So with that being said, what and you can talk about any of the rankings in the top 12. What do you guys see that stood out?
The biggest thing that stood out to me is that SMU's at 3 now.
Yeah, so they're
Miami's not even on the board.
Yeah, so Miami. Since they lost, they're 10-2. The ACC championship game is now SMU and Clemson. So Seth, basically SMU is three right here because they were ranked, I believe, eight in the actual polls or in
Hmm.
the rankings. So they get to go to three, assuming they win the ACC. They would be the ACC champion. They would get that bye. They would get the third seed. So that's how that works. But if this is where it gets tricky, if Clemson, who's a three-loss team, beats SMU in the ACC championship, Clemson gets that automatic berth since they won the conference championship. So
What?
Clemson would be 10-3 in this scenario and would be four or three or whatever it is.
Three, yeah.
So,
Great.
and then that's where it gets crazy because people are like, well, if that happens, then you'd have eight Clemson's in, SMU might possibly still
Still
be
be in.
in, but if they win, it's pretty much a lock that Bama's in. And there's only one ACC team in. So, Cody, with that being said, what are your thoughts on this so far?
No, I agree with you for sure on the part that I think Ole Miss and South Carolina are better than Miami, to be
Yeah,
honest with you. I think South Carolina arguably has probably the best defense right now as we're speaking. Like they're just hitting on all cylinders.
yeah,
And I would still put Bama in just because of the strength of schedule and the 3-1 top 25 wins that we have.
yeah,
But then I would probably put South Carolina over Ole Miss, to be honest with you, just because how their strength of schedule, but how strong they finished the end of the season.
yeah.
Like pretty significant wins over that, and you've seen Ole Miss kind of struggle through the end
Yeah.
of it. So I would
And
probably
Yeah.
insert Ole Miss fans in the comments or
Yeah.
whatever saying, "Will we beat South Carolina 24 to whatever the score was?" But to give everybody context, the committee values like when last year when FSU lost their quarterback,
yeah,
that's in the criteria now. When you have a quarterback go out or a player of that impact go out, they have to value that in there. That's where I think they kind of got it wrong because it's like South Carolina didn't have Lenore Sellers healthy, right? Like he was really banged up. Yeah, he maybe played that Ole Miss game, but to say all of that, we know a full strength Ole Miss and South Carolina right now would have been way closer.
yeah.
And I kind of think, given that circumstance, like you got to throw that out the window and then give South Carolina the most recent, success benefit of the doubt and give them the advantage over Ole Miss. But it really, all this doesn't
Yeah.
matter because they put Alabama ahead of everybody. So I mean,
Which is wild.
they're
Yeah.
all out. But the thing
Yeah.
the thing is Alabama got it because they beat South Carolina, so they have the head to
Yeah.
head. They got more ranked wins. And then at the end of the day, Miami only dropped a little
Schedule.
bit because I guess Miami was at least valued higher because I don't know really why. I don't know. Maybe because they like Cam Ward more. I have no idea. They didn't really give you an explanation.
They can just score with ease. Like that's one thing they can do is like that they have such a high powered offense, but they have the worst defense.
Yeah.
Like they can't stop a water leak if they tried.
I
And
mean, they
it's
they really
so
do.
bad. Like they're gonna score, but they're gonna get scored on. So if a team's coming in to play them that can score, they're probably gonna lose. And that's what we saw against Syracuse. Syracuse can score. They had a really dynamic offense, and they
We
ran,
called it.
and we called it.
We called that. We called
Yeah.
the South Carolina win. We called the Miami. We didn't predict the A&M upset, right? But to
Yeah.
say all that, we were feeling good about those other ones that happened. I think now the only thing that I'm looking at is what happens in the conference championship. So this is a nice segue. So let's talk about our predictions here. We can go through. Let's go through because there's only a few like that really stand out. The Power Four ones, obviously, we do know. Obviously, the group of five teams that matter are Boise State versus UNLV. I guess we can get that one out the way just because it could. There's a scenario where UNLV wins that game, right? Boise
Hmm.
State is knocked out the playoffs. Their hopes are done. They have two losses. They didn't win their conference championship. They're out. And who would get the last group of five spot? It would come down to most likely UNLV would just take it. They would probably jump significantly because right now they're like 22. But with
Yeah.
that conference championship, they would probably just shoot up a little bit. But the only other thing I think I've heard is Tulane could win their conference championship and get a higher ranking than UNLV. But a lot of people are just saying no, like UNLV will just get that if they win.
Yeah.
To
I mean,
say
I would.
all that, I mean, what do you think? Do you think there's a chance UNLV gets that? Because honestly, I kind of do. I was looking at some stuff earlier. I mean, they have a decent matchup with Boise, and I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that like Boise might be almost like pressing, like they're like, or maybe they'll just be a little tight because they know like this is their shot to make
This
the
is it.
playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree. I think me personally, I think Boise. win. But if UNLV does win, I think they're gonna be in. I think they'll jump and
Yeah.
be in. They'll probably be in that 5 spot versus 12. What is it?
Yeah, they probably would be the five because I would assume in this, well, that's if SMU wins, right? Because if like
Yeah,
all chaos breaks loose, like let's say there's UNLV wins and then Clemson wins,
wins.
I think Clemson
I still think
they
Clemson.
would get the bye. What I guess I'm trying to figure out the rankings part. So like Clemson would be four because they
Yeah,
have three losses. They'd be the lowest of the top four
yeah,
of the buys. The third would be probably the Big 12 winner, like Arizona State or Iowa State, and then it'd be SEC and Big 10 or whatever. But anyways, I think you're right. I think that yeah, they would have to be five. UNLV, well, actually no, they wouldn't be five because what are we talking about? They would be 12. We're losing our mind right now. They'd be 12. Sorry guys, they'd be 12 as a lock. But Boise State's the only one that can be high because they have had a high ranking to this point. We're kind of
yeah.
getting all over the place. But let's just go back. Give our official prediction. You think Boise State wins?
I got Boise State.
It's a 4 point spread right now. It's kind of close. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna pick Boise State just because I trust Ashton Genty.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
it's a monster game.
For sure.
But to say all that, I mean UNLV is a good squad. They had kind of an interesting season. They had a quarterback change, and ever since then, I mean they've been kind of on a roll. They run the ball really really well. They have
Yeah,
two running. Well, they have a quarterback with 768 rushing yards in yeah, and Williams, who took over. And then they have a running back who's been pretty solid to compliment him. He's got 7 touchdowns, 833. So look for them to run the ball. This could be a run heavy game for both these teams. I don't really know how that's gonna fare as far as like controlling the clock and stuff. Because like if you have Boise State just running that rock with Genty getting them 10 a carry or 8 a
Yeah.
carry or whatever, and
I
he's
mean,
just
you're
going
cooked.
crazy. They just chew the clock down. They just score on every other drive. I mean, that's gonna be tough. So UNLV is gonna have to get a few stops, have to hit a few turnovers on defense, capitalize on that. But it's not out of the realm of possibility they win this game. I mean, 4 point spread, tough game to make the playoffs for both teams. It's gonna be a really good one, and I think it's gonna be fun to watch. I think it's on a Friday, right? So that'll
yeah.
be yeah, that and the Tulane Army American Athletic Championship is on Friday. So who wins Tulane Army? I'm sorry, Army. I didn't mean to disrespect you, but you're the team right now who's actually ranked instead of Tulane. I apologize. Army could make the playoffs if somehow they were to jump UNLV in the rankings. I guess they could make the group of five spot. But do you think Army beats Tulane right now in this game? They're a 5 point underdog.
Ooh,
Army runs that old school triple option.
they do, they do, they do.
I
Tulane,
like that.
Tulane, man, they got some playmakers out there.
You know what? Give me Army. I'm just gonna wing it. No, give me Army.
I'm gonna go Tulane.
It's a toss up, man. Like I don't. Both these teams are kind of like bet the same. Like even though Army runs the triple option, like you said,
Yeah.
Tulane got some dogs out there. But
Tulane has Makai Hughes from Birmingham. He's a running back, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. Just a good year. And I'm gonna go with Tulane, man. I just got to. I feel like they're gonna get enough stops, and they're gonna score consistently on Army. And I think that it won't be a shootout, but it will definitely be a good game. I think Tulane wins by 7. You know,
That's valid.
yeah,
on
I
ABC
like
Friday
Army.
night. You like
And I
Army
like that
too?
triple option. I like that triple option.
Yeah.
you know what? Give me the triple option. Give
Okay.
me Army by a field goal.
I'm gonna ride
Yep.
with a green wave.
The green wave.
Green wave.
Let's go look at Army real quick though, just to make our point about them running that rock. They have some nasty stats here. The running back, 906 yards. That would be Mr. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it's Kanye Udo. And then the quarterback in Bryson Daly has 1,348 rushing yards. And guess
No,
who wants to take a guess at
he's a
how
dog.
many rushing touchdowns their quarterback has?
Uh,
Mm,
17.
All
I
right,
guess like
17.
4.
You think Army's quarterback with 1,300
Oh,
yards
with the
has
triple option.
four
Okay.
tutties?
I'm gonna guess 14.
25.
Oh, yeah.
25 rushing touchdowns. All right.
That game's going to be
Good lord.
crazy.
So this game is about to be interesting. He has 8 passing, 25 rushing. Can't wait to see it though. I mean, let's just be honest. This is going to be one for the ages. Army versus Tulane. Playoff hopes on the line. Friday night. Get your popcorn ready, boys.
Yeah,
I can't
because
wait
it's
for
gonna be
that.
needed.
So those are the Friday games. All right, now to the big dogs. First game on Saturday, Big 12 championship. We have 16 Iowa State versus 15 Arizona State. Winner goes to the playoff and gets that bye. Okay, Big 12 only gets one team in. We know that. This is going to be a slugfest. Arizona State is favored by 2, and I have already made up my mind on this. I have Iowa State.
Really?
Yeah, Iowa State's got a great defense, one of the best defenses in the country. Got a great coach. I think Arizona State's going to be rolling in off of a good finish to their year, clearly. But Iowa State has sneakily been right there, just going band for band all season in the Big 12. And I'm going to go with the Cyclones. My boy Drake, used to play there. I'm going to rock with them. I think they get it done in a good Big 12 matchup. And that's all I can say. I don't know what the score is going to be, but it's going to be a close one for sure.
No. You know what? Give me Arizona State. Give me the Sun Devils. I
Okay.
like
The
their running back
Sun Devils.
Cam Skibido or Skibidoo.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Cam. I think he's gonna have over
Gatabo or
100
whatever.
yards, two,
Yeah.
three tutties. I think he's gonna run that rock crazy on Iowa. I don't think they'll know how to stop him. He's a beast at the goal line too. Like he's a tank.
Yeah.
Give me him and get that to set up the play action pass. I forgot what their quarterback's name, but he's a dog. He's pretty good. So give me Arizona State by 10.
Okay, well, that
I
would be
like it.
crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Scatabo is the dog at running back. I
Yeah,
mean, Saban has said he's one of his favorite players, but
yeah.
I
I
just
like
think
watching.
going against Iowa State's defense will be tough. I do think it'll be a good game, though.
That's a game that's gonna be a game to watch right there.
Yeah. All righty. So, Seth, any thoughts on that? I know you're not too locked into the Big 12 world, but
Nope.
any gut feeling
I
on
mean,
that?
I like the Arizona State.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess
Skip.
I'm going against y'all boys right now.
I
That's
can't.
how it is.
Last
Is it
two
Skip
picks.
or Skipido?
It's Scatabo.
Scatabo? Give me
Yeah.
Scatabo.
Scat
Scatabo for the
I'm back.
Dubado.
Scatabo in the Scat Pack.
Field boy.
Scabado for the Dubado.
Dimsdale Scatabo.
He's about to scatter chains
Dimsdale.
all over the field of the Cyclones. Give me this. Give me them boy.
All
Give
right.
me
Well,
them Devils.
Sun Devils. Sun Devils versus Cyclones is a battle. I don't even know what that would be like on.
That'd be crazy.
All right. Well, on to the next. Okay. So we got the Big 12 out the way to start the day. We're feeling good. We just saw a good little battle. What do we got in the middle part of the day, boys? Oh, that's Georgia versus Texas.
What the fuck?
4 o'clock, part 2. Battle of this SEC showdown in Atlanta. Georgia's got the fans. Texas, though, they got the fans too. They're going to travel to Atlanta. They're going to try to split that 50-50 with the Dogs and get their payback, man. They got punked out in their own stadium. Now, let's give some context here, right? Georgia won that first game 30-15, I believe, but Georgia did a lot of good on defense, a lot of bad on offense. Carson Beck had a Carson Beck game, 3 picks. They still won, though, because the defense turned over Quinn Ewers, and they got the ball in short, yard situations in the red zone, and they just punched it in when they had to early on, and then they played good defense. They gave up a little late push by Texas, but it didn't matter. So to say all of that, do you think Texas, who's been pretty good as of late against a weaker Georgia team from the last few years, gets their revenge?
I think Texas dog walks them.
Oh,
Ow.
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. No pun intended, Cody, by the way, dog walk. But I'm kind of feeling that too. I don't know if it's gonna be a dog walk, but I'm thinking like Texas wins by like 10-14. They're gonna be
Give me 40,
fired up.
give me 44-20 Texas.
Oh my.
Cody's going for the long ball here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
I
here's the
am.
other thing. Texas
think-
has been struggling to score a lot of points though. Like they've only put up, 17 against A&M, 15 against Georgia. 20 against Arkansas. Like, they just haven't been shooting out a lot of these games like you would think, right? So I don't know if it's going to happen in the championship game, but I do think they win. I do think they get the
I'm going
dub.
Bugs. I think Texas is mad. I think they come in. I think Quinn Ewers has a good game. I think we see Arch Manning do a little bit of magic out there.
I do agree with that.
And I just think they want to turn it up since they had that loss at home. They're going to be fired up because of
Yeah.
that. They want to avenge that loss, and I think they're going to be hitting on all cylinders.
And I think the difference is that they're running the ball well right now, and
that
Georgia is
it's
bottom in the country in the SEC in running, which is never the case.
Mm.
But who was it? Wisner had 30 like attempts last game or whatever it was, and was going crazy against A&M. I mean, didn't
no,
he?
yeah. He
He
was
had
a
33 carries, 186 yards.
yeah. They're going to
So,
rely on him.
well, if they get that going, they set up the play action and hit Isaiah Bond and Bolden over the top.
It's over.
Get Arch Manning to use his legs in situations in the red zone. I mean, I like Texas right now, and their defense is nasty, and they
Yeah,
will do what they did against Carson Beck the first time around. But this time, I think they'll capitalize and actually put points on the board.
exactly. Yeah, that's why I said I think it's going to be by such a large margin. I
So
think
the spread. What do y'all think the spread is in this game?
uh
Mm.
this 3.5, 3.
Texas is -2.5.
2.5. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Texas
Well,
to cover, and
I got them to cover big.
I got Texas 31-20.
I like that too. See, I could see that too. I might have went
Yeah.
a little bit overboard, but
Yeah, but it's all right. I feel you on that. Seth, what
Yeah.
you got, man?
I like the give me 32-28
wow,
Texas.
Okay.
close one.
A little
All right.
closey.
32-28. I mean, hey, I could totally see this being a big statement game for Texas going into the playoffs. They get a bye, and then Georgia with their third loss would probably be one of those. They wouldn't get punished that much for losing a championship game, but at the same time having three losses, I think they would be one of the like 9 or 10 or 8 or whatever in the in
Yeah,
the rank in the playoff rankings. And I do think like Tennessee would be ahead of them clearly.
jump on.
But I don't
They
know though if it's clear because Tennessee did lose to them. They're not in the championship game like Georgia. Maybe the committee does respect Georgia in that regard, but it to me depends on how they lose. If it's a close game, then I don't think Tennessee deserves to be ahead of them. But if they get blown out, then there's an argument for Georgia to fall a little
Yeah.
bit. So
yeah,
what I'm saying is Georgia could be one of those teams that goes on the road first round instead of hosting a playoff game.
right.
So instead of them hosting Indiana, what if they go to Indiana or what if they go to Tennessee? Like and get that now that's something. Tennessee
That
getting
is
their lick
crazy.
back on Georgia.
Woo!
Oh my goodness. There's a lot of stuff that we could be, seeing as far as like revenge games. So we'll
Yeah.
keep an eye on that. But Oregon, Penn State at night. Okay. A game that we thought we would not see this year, but
Nope.
we're getting it because Ohio State shit the bed against Michigan. Let's talk about that game real quick before we get into the Big Ten.
Yep.
Ohio State, Michigan, if you don't know, for people listening, is one of the biggest rivals on earth. It's pretty much right up there with rivals like Steelers, Ravens, Bama,
Auburn,
Auburn,
Alabama. Yeah.
North Carolina, Duke, like in basketball, all these rivalries, right? You can talk about around the world even, and soccer teams that I'm not a big fan of, but I know it gets crazy out there. But nobody would understand what Michigan, Ohio State is, right? Unless you're like living this world that we live in. So for them to lose again to a mid Michigan team when they were paying $20 million in NIL money to craft one of the best rosters on paper, have one of the best wide receiver cores in the country, one of the best running back duos in Judkins and Henderson, and you put up a stinker on offense. That what they tried to do was they tried to go penny for penny, not band for band, penny for penny, and run the rock up the middle. And
Yep.
that is where Michigan lives, is their defensive tackles and their
Yep.
D line. And guess what? Michigan didn't have Will Johnson, the star corner. That's a first round pick. Michigan didn't have Loveland at tight end. They didn't have their two best players, and they won that game. And
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Day, the coach of Ohio State, is a fraud. Everybody that is a big time believer in Ohio State wants him gone. And they think that if they lose in the playoffs, he could be out. And I mean, if you don't beat Michigan this year, I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, if you get fired, it makes sense. So,
Yeah.
anyways, to say all that, now you have Penn State sneaks into the Big Ten championship. Okay, Penn State's number 3 in the country. Oregon's number 1. Spread Oregon 3.5. Who wins this game and why?
Oregon. Oregon wins. Uh, they win it.
Is it at Oregon or
No, this
Penn
is a
State?
neutral site game.
Neutral site.
Yeah. All the championship games are in a neutral site. So Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play, is the Big Ten championship.
Give me Oregon 31-24.
Yep. So it is going to be a battle because I know that Penn State has really good defense. Clearly, Abdul Carter is a good pass rusher. The thing that scares me is that Oregon might make Penn State try to get in a shootout. And I don't know if Penn State can do the whole go band for band and
I don't
throw it
think
all over the field with Drew Aller. Now they do have that tight end. That's a dog for Penn State, and he's looking like another Brock Bowers. But at the same time, Nick Singleton is going to have to get you some rushing yards. You're going to rely on him to really control the ball. I think that's the story for Penn State is to control the game by running with Nick Singleton, hitting your little crossing routes with the tight end. Really, maybe get Drew Aller on one deep ball, like in each half. I think if you can complete one each half, that's pretty big. You score
yeah.
touchdowns and not field goals, and you just really keep the ball away from Oregon's offense. You got a shot. But if Oregon comes out, punches you in the mouth, scores a bomb with one of their fast wide receivers, or Dylan Gabriel makes a play and runs it in, and then you can't capitalize and you get down by 2 scores early, and you're forcing Drew Aller to make throws all game, it's over, buddy.
It's over.
And I kind of see that happening. Penn State maybe is going to be like not totally prepared because they didn't think they were going to be in this situation, but they'll still compete. They're a great team, great coach. Now I just don't
Like,
know. I don't know if they're going to be able to score in the 30s, and I think Oregon gets to 30, and I think
yeah.
whoever gets to 30 wins. So I'm going to say Oregon wins. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and they win by at least a touchdown. I'm going to say 30-23.
I like that. I like that a lot.
What you thinking, Seth? Got any upsets in this one? You think Penn State pulls it off or not? Not today.
Neutral site, yeah.
Neutral site. All these championships are in the neutral site, so it makes it even a little bit. Besides Georgia, they're in Atlanta.
Makes sense. I'd like to see Penn State win and shake up the bracket even more than it already is.
Now that would be something. Now if
Yeah.
they win, they might as well be number 1.
Oh,
That's unreal.
Yeah,
If a Penn State #1 team was the first college playoffs.
that would be something. I'll tell you, sir. That would be crazy. It would be crazy for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
So I'm gonna give me Penn State.
Okay.
Give me Penn State 32-21.
21.
Wow.
So they're gonna lock
Mhm.
up. So entering the game, Dylan Gabriel's looking pretty good. 3,000 yards, 24 tutties. Jordan James, running back, he's got over 1,000 yards, 13 tutties. We know what the wide receivers are capable of with Tez Johnson, Evan Stewart, Trayshawn Holden, tight end Ferguson. They got weapons, so it's going to be interesting to see. Now, the other game to finish off the day is Clemson and SMU. Okay, the game that really Alabama needs to happen the most is SMU to win. Even if they do lose, who knows? But to say all that, just our honest thoughts. No Alabama in our head at all. Who wins this game? Okay, SMU is favored by 2.5. They're number 8. Clemson's number 17. They just lost their third game. SMU is 11-1. Their only loss, I believe, came to BYU early in the year, 18-15.
I like SMU.
Now, SMU is coached by Rhett Lashley. He used to coach offense at Auburn with Gus Malzahn. Okay, he's got a good offensive mind. They got a good defense too. Okay, they've been playing stout defense as of late. They just beat the doors off of Cal and Virginia. So those 2 wins going into this game are nice. Not great teams, but it's nice to get those kind of big wins to rest your players and all that stuff. To say all that, Clemson is reeling. They just lost to their rival. I don't love what I've been seeing from them, and I do think Klubnik will really fight his ass off and have a solid game. but something's telling me that SMU is going to be like knowing that they have to win, not only because they want to win the championship, but they think probably deep down, because I've heard their coach this week, especially today, speaking in press conferences and interviews, saying it feels like SMU, like our players shouldn't even play this game because like in honesty, like we could all hypothetically all of our players get sick, we just drop out of this conference championship game and we're a lock for the playoffs. But if we play this game, we lose to Clemson, we might not make the playoffs. So my point being in that is that SMU knows that they have to win. Like they need this game not only to win the championship, but if they lose, they might not make the playoffs because there's a chance Bama would take their spot no matter what. So to say all that, I'm gonna rock with the Mustangs. Just go ahead and get it out there, get it out the way, not even worry. You know, they're gonna be putting everything they got into this game, knowing that this is their one shot to make the playoffs. Let's just in their mind, they're thinking that this is it.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as y'all. I like SMU in this. I just think Clemson's kind of struggling right now, and like you said, I think Rhett Lashley and them boys are going to be like they need this game.
Yeah.
They need it so bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're hitting on all cylinders right now. They got a high-powered offense. Rhett Lashley, like you said, coached at Auburn and had a lot of good offenses at Auburn while he was there. Uh, I just really like this Mustang team. Give me the Mustangs by Give me the Mustangs by at least a touchdown. I'll take a um, mm, I'll take 28-20.
28-20. Okay.
Mm.
I do think both defenses will be pretty solid. I think
Yeah.
they'll be able to run the ball a little bit on each other. It's going to come down to the quarterback play with Klubnik and SMU's quarterback Kevin Jennings. So to say all that, I will rock with the Stangs. I think it's going to be a battle. I honestly feel like it's going to be really close. I'm going to go 27-24 Mustangs in a close one at the end.
No, I agree.
But yeah, so that would be a crazy, Saturday and Friday of championship games. Clearly, Bama needs some stuff to shake up. But a lot of other teams, that are in the playoffs would rather probably, you know, see some upsets. Like Indiana would love to see some upsets so they can jump up, teams like that. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, right now, Alabama's slated to play Notre Dame, Penn State, Arizona State, Georgia, Indiana, Ohio State, and Tennessee in the first round. So, I mean, all those could be interesting. The one game that I think we all would love to see is Ohio State at Tennessee. It would be kind
I'd
of
love that.
insane. I do think Bama Notre Dame would be really cool, obviously.
Hmm.
But yeah, then if that's the draw that Bama gets, they play at Notre Dame. They somehow get out of that one, then they would play probably like SMU. So I mean, it could be worse, for Alabama. But to say all that, let's go to the NFL, get that out the way. We know that this is a big week 14. A lot of people are, pretty much knowing this is their last shot at making a playoff push. So
Yes.
right now, we got a big game tomorrow night. Let's talk about this one. Division rival. The Lions host the Packers. Okay. Massive implications for that division. The winner is going to most likely be in first place after the week, but also I will say, or no, I'm sorry, Green Bay's 9-3. So 9-3 Green Bay. The Lions are, I believe, 11-1. So the Lions would still be in first. But to say all that, Green Bay can make that push for the first place in that division if they win. The Lions are out a couple guys. Okay, so they're out 4 key players. I know last week they got banged up on Thanksgiving, so we'll see how they fare against the Packers, who are also a little banged up, but not terrible. I know that right now Josh Jacobs is going to play, Kenny Clark is going to play, a couple other linemen are going to be able to play, so that's good for them. Now, Jair Alexander is out. Okay. Romeo Dobbs is out. Edrin Cooper and Corey Ballantyne are all out. So both teams are actually going to be pretty equal with injuries, 4-4. Let me go to Detroit. Detroit has no Taylor Decker, who's a beast on the line. His knee is hurt, so he's out. They got another guy in Levi Onwin Zarike with a hammy, and then Josh Pascal with a knee, and DJ Reader with a shoulder. So those 4 guys are out. With that being said, who wins this game?
Where's it at again?
It's in Detroit.
It's in
Detroit
Detroit.
already beat the Packers on the road pretty bad.
Yeah, I think I'm projecting the Lions to dog walk them.
The dog walk them.
Mm-hmm.
Now with no Jair Alexander, that's a problem.
That's
That's
what
a
I'm
real.
saying. The Lions are gonna whoop them.
But at the same time, Lions got injuries too.
Don't matter.
Got starting lineman out, got a corner out. I'm just saying, it's pretty
I'm
pretty
calling the upset. Give me the pack.
I'm thinking there's a chance that the Pack get it done, Cody. I'm
I,
thinking that they got a shot for real.
I just like how they've been kind of playing late, as of late, and Jordan Love's. I feel like starting to kind of hit that stride a little bit. You know, getting
Yeah.
there. Josh Jacobs has been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he
Like
has.
so, I think the Pack weather the storm. I think it's going to be a 27-24 type game. That's what I'm calling.
So earlier in the day, I did pick the Packers and sleeper. I was thinking about it, and then seeing that Romeo Dobbs and Jair Alexander are out, I'm gonna switch my pick to the Lions because I think that and then the home field advantage just gets them over the
Mm-hmm.
edge.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say Amon-Ra kind of cooks
Yeah.
because
Big day
and
for.
they're gonna see him eating, and obviously both teams are really good, so it should be a fun one. But I'm gonna go Lions just because at home, they know that they want that first round bye in the
Yeah,
playoffs. So give me the Lions, but it's gonna be a great game.
I'll be the outlier. I'll pick the Pack. We
All
need
right, man.
one.
We know you love the Pack.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Love the Pack.
Maybe a little pack of Dan.
Let's go Pack, go.
hey, hey, tighten up,
A
bud.
little pack of Dan.
Another good game this week. It's
A
not a good.
rematch.
It's not a good
It's
game, but it's the Falcons and Kirk Cousins going back to where Kirk was at recently, and
That's gonna
that's the
be a great
Minnesota
game.
Vikings. But
great.
it's not going to be a great game because you know why? Kirk's going to get benched.
Yeah,
I think
I
he's
think
gonna. I
Kirk's
think
going to
he's gonna go
see.
crazy.
No, you might be right. He could either go one of two ways.
It's either gonna.
He's gonna
Yeah.
turn back time and go to
Mm-hmm.
Kirktober and throw
Mm-hmm.
for about 400. And then he's also either going to do the other, and that's what he did last week and throw four
Yeah.
picks. There's no in between with Kirk,
Yeah. No, that was bad.
but I am going to pick the Vikings. Sorry, Falcons, I love you, but I hate you at the same damn time. I'm tired of seeing y'all do something good and then immediately go back to how you've always been.
Uh,
And this year, they've been horrible on defense as far as getting sacks. What they do last week had their best game. Herbert and the Chargers did nothing. We sacked the Chargers 5 times. They had 180 yards. They only scored a touchdown because of a pick six from Kirk when he lofted it out there, throwing it 30 miles an hour.
God dang it.
So Falcons should have won. Koo also missed the kick. Also, if he would have made it, we would have won the game because at the end he would have hypothetically kicked the game winner, but he probably would have missed it. Whatever. Anyways, to say all that, Falcons are ass. They're going to lose to the Vikings. Vikings are going to be what 11-2 or something. So that's
yeah,
big. This
I'm
is
with you. I
this is
like.
a close. I was going to say close for the division for them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That division's crazy.
Yeah,
But I'm with you. I think the Vikings. I think Kirk's gonna be sh- up. I personally want to see Penix come
I
in
do
and.
too. I do too.
I mean, I'm not wishing. I love Kirk. Don't give me. I love Kirk,
You
but
gotta go. Penix has more upside, right? Just
I,
way more upside.
I just feel like Kirk walking in, he's going to want to play good because it's, I mean, he was at Minnesota for years. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know if this is the game we see Penix, maybe, but I feel like it's going to be a close game. I think Atlanta's going to be able to hang in, but just in Minnesota, I think Jay Jettis is going to have a good game. I
Yeah.
think Addison could be an outlier on the outside too. He's been having some good games as of lately, so I think it's going to be a close one.
The-
Give me give me Vikings 35, Falcons 27.
A shootout.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think
Okay.
I think this is a Bijan game. I think Bijan has a monster game right here.
He's been going
I like
crazy.
that.
He's been going
Yep.
crazy. The one thing I'll say is that the Falcons could win if Sam Darnold does what he used to do. So
He
Yeah.
was doing last week, low key.
yeah, and the Falcons were playing really good on defense last week, so maybe they roll that into this game. Who knows?
If the Falcons can play like if Kirk comes out like you said, Kirk Tober and that
Mhm.
defense plays like it did last, yeah, Falcons got it.
If the Falcons win this game on the road in this kind of environment and situation that Kirk's in, and after what just happened,
That's
I'm
a
not
huge
gonna lie, that's a big win because going into this, if you lose and you're 6-7 and the Bucks win, you can kiss the division goodbye, even if you swept the Bucks. Which
Yeah.
this
so
is must win game right here.
if you lose this game, you're low key out of the playoffs. If you win it, you might be in the playoffs. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I do think they lose though, so that's how I
I
feel.
think they win.
You think the Falcons win?
Yep, I think they win.
Oh man.
Yep.
Fuck that.
That's me. I think they win.
All right, that's you. Crazy games this week consist of only a few, I will say, not a lot. So we're in that time of the season where there's a lot of teams that are banged up, a lot of teams that are not good. So
I'm worried
that's
about that Steelers Browns game. A little
y'all
rematch here.
y'all are blowing them out.
I mean, I hope so.
At home, y'all are blowing them out.
I mean, we better play like we just did last week.
You know what?
Steelers will win.
Cody,
No, they're not
Cody,
going to
shut
sweep the
up.
Steelers.
Shut up, Cody.
Uh-uh.
Please don't say it.
Jameis is throwing for 400.
No, he not. Like that was a fluke last game.
He'll throw for
Wait,
400
but low
and throw
key
for
though,
4 picks.
Jameis threw for 400 and then Russ threw for 400 last week.
Yeah, that's
So
what.
who's gonna
Who's
cook?
who's gonna cook?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just got mess. I think Steelers. I think they'll club them.
Yeah.
I hope they club them.
I,
I
I,
hope they club them.
Good old clubbing.
I hope they just demolish them.
Man, a good game though, division game. Seahawks at the Cardinals.
Seahawks at the Cardinals is good, dude.
Yeah, Cardinals are coming off of that loss. Seahawks are coming off of that win. Do we think this is a shootout or no? Because I kind of think it might be.
I think it is, and I think give me Arizona. Give me the
I got the Cardinals too.
I think the
I
Cardinals.
definitely like the Cardinals too.
Yeah.
I think Kyler comes back, has a good game. I think Marvin has a good game. James Conner, good game.
Yeah.
Seahawks defense is hit or miss, so
Exactly. I mean, that defense has been wishy-washy all season.
yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good game.
This is the battle for the division right here.
I just think Arizona's.
To me, winner takes that division.
Yeah, and I like Arizona a little bit better right now.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. So that's all for pretty much the earlier window. I mean, you can talk about the Bears at the Niners.
I was about to
guess.
bring that up, low key. I mean,
I
do the
don't
Bears pull it
know.
out? That'd be a huge win.
I could see it, but it's like the
I
Niners
saw,
gotta win one.
yeah, I saw a picture. It said, some meme. It was like, "Honey, are the dishes washed?" And then it says the dishes, and it's Brandon Ayuk, Debo,
Yeah.
Christian, all just on the side.
Dude,
I was like,
I
ooh,
forgot that they're starting the Isaac
rookie.
Guerrero, the
Yeah.
rookie. Yeah,
You know what?
man, they're banged up.
Give me the Bears.
Give you the Bears. All right.
Give me the Bears. You're
You know
welcome.
what? I kind of want to pick the Bears too
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that defense is at least pretty good.
Yeah. Now Eberflus is gone.
Yeah, that's true.
I think-
Man, you know what? Low key, the Bears are set up to win because it's like after all they've been through, getting rid of the coach, getting the Niners when they're down. I'm gonna pick the Bears.
I
Bro,
think pick up this win. I think our boy Jack is going to be a happy camper this Sunday.
I swear to God, if anybody texts Mason, I will fight whoever does it.
I'm not gonna text him.
Don't text him, please, God, don't text him.
Oh, he'll just
I
set
need
it
this win.
himself. He'll know.
No, he won't. I know he won't, because he hasn't done it all year.
Yeah, he has. I saw it.
Bullshit.
I saw it like a couple times this year. I was like, how did he make this move? I swear.
Bullshit.
No, that's not bullshit. Because I was like even surprised that he made a roster move or two. He hit
Dude,
like
if
one week
if
he had to drop somebody and he actually did it. And I was like, wow, Mason, like good for you.
If he goes into his bag and gets a kicker, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I feel like there's a chance that he will like right before the game.
No. No, he won't.
He's done it like once or twice this
Nope,
year.
he didn't do it against you. He won't do
No.
it against me.
I'm just telling you, there's a chance because
Uh-uh.
I've seen him like last
No,
week
he
he
won't.
did it. You're gonna jinx yourself, dude. I'm
Dude,
telling
he's
you.
not gonna do it.
He's low key gonna do it. I think he's more locked in than you think he is.
I don't think he is.
Telling you, man.
I'll text him.
Cody, Cody, you don't want that, man. You don't want.
Dude, I'm still in the playoffs too, but I have to win.
I'm not texting him,
Yo,
bro.
And
man.
Lamar and Zay are on a bye.
Guess what? In that league, I have 1% chance.
Yeah.
What am I at? I can't look right now.
Cody, you're
I'm at-
locked.
I'm
Cody,
at a
you're
68%.
Cody,
You know what it was like in midseason? It was like 35.
Yeah, you're 6 and 7, and you're a lock. That's what I hate.
It's between me and Jay.
Yeah, no, this is just one of the worst years in fantasy in that
You know
league.
what's crazy though? Like honestly. The turnaround I had.
Yeah, after that trade, though, everybody was shitting on you
No,
for it.
that's not it. You
That
keep
was the
saying that.
turnaround.
He had 4 trades.
That
That's
was the
the
turnaround.
turnaround. Four
Hey,
trades.
when he
And
made
then
all those trades,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Not just the first trade.
The
The
first trade
second, the
started it.
third, the
The
first trade
first
was.
trade
If he would have
started it.
ended it at that, he was cooked.
Dude,
No,
Larry
I-
McConkey was balling.
No, but I'm saying though, if he would have just did that trade and that was it, Cody would have been pretty much cooked.
No,
He
I
would
would
have
have been.
he would have just had a lab, but the fact that he made the other trade and then the one with me and then the other
Yeah.
one or whatever he made,
It started it.
that's I know it
That
started,
first
but like
trade.
if he would have just stopped, it would have been
Oh,
over.
I would have been cooked.
Like if you would have just because you were almost about to stop, you were like this close to like giving up.
My name is still. It's just like
But the
Dude, if
fact
you
that
win if you win this year,
that'd be
I'll
crazy.
hail you as fantasy king.
He
I really
probably
will.
at this point he probably will.
I'll
because,
never doubt any moves you make. None of them.
dude.
I
I
won't
feel
doubt
like
them.
I feel like
Griff.
the one move that saved you was getting Josh Jacobs back.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But now it's like I'm a little worried about these little question marks you got, these little cues.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Just a little bit, not like a lot, but a little bit.
Josh Jacobs has been your deciding factor in these wins the last 2 weeks.
Like,
Yeah.
like realistically,
Besides
Cody,
Cortland
like
Sutton.
you got a good team. It's just some of these guys are a little hit or miss.
Boomer bust.
Yeah.
Boomer bust. Yeah, and they've been booming.
They have been booming.
But Ken hasn't had a good game since week 7.
I'm trying to get him out, dude. I don't know who to trade him to though.
That's over. I don't know.
I mean, you want Rico?
McConkey's good though.
Do I want Rico?
Rico.
I'll take Saquon.
Nah.
Mm-mm. That boy, my keeper.
Hey,
Well,
y'all
let's
heard?
talk about the sleeper real quick for talking about fantasy. Y'all play
Well,
this week
Yep,
Yeah.
Cody, this is for me to get into the playoffs.
for either one of y'all.
I'm in.
Cody's already in.
No. Caleb was telling me today that there's a chance that like Cody's out, and he said the only one that's in is me right now. There's everybody else could be left out. There's a way. Because if you lose the league median and lose the Seth, and everybody else starts winning, Cody, you might get left out.
But I think I have a good chance to win.
Dude,
What's
I want P to lose and get knocked out of the playoffs. That'd be
Dude.
so funny.
Yeah, because you, Cody, you and Griff and P and Seth are all, and Nate are all 14 and 12.
yeah?
Technically, like nobody's safe until
This week after,
somebody pulls away in one of these games, and you got to beat Seth because
I
if
know.
Seth gets in over you, then it's gonna look.
me. This is a do or die for me and Seth, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like you're sitting nice right now because you got a little bit more points, but you're still the same record as all those dudes.
Yeah. Me and Seth are about to bug fest.
Yeah. But I'm in first somehow, and I think I have a chance to get a bye, but we'll see. I got to beat this last place team. Or not last place. He's in 10th place.
You're winning.
He's been getting 201, like 70 the last 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, but he's not projected that much this week.
I know there's a buys this week too, so that's probably why as well.
Yeah, if I wasn't good in this league, dude, I would be so down about fantasy this year, but it's been nice to have
I'm
a
got
decent league.
2.2% projected above Cody.
All right, let's see something, man.
I'm gonna try to show it to you.
Wait, I'm projected to lose now because the Mahomes got put in all his starters and he's projected 145.
Oh,
Oh my God!
mean-
Wait, that's correct.
All I want to do is beat the league median, so I get that first round bye. But like, I'm in the playoffs. It's just I gotta get that bye. Like I need it.
yeah.
There's only 2, and Caleb's fiending. He wants that bye too. So we'll see. So
I don't think you should give it to him.
I'm gonna try, but I'm probably gonna lose one of the things this week. Now, last but not least, we do got to talk about a couple games still. Rams
Rams at the Bills.
are
Or
in
Bills
LA.
at the Rams.
Bills at the Rams.
I'm definitely give me the Bills.
Yeah.
100%.
I think the Bills easily should win this game, but there's a chance that old Stafford starts slinging that rock to Puka Nacua.
Then that's
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I gotta start. I'm starting Stafford this week. So you know
I'm
what?
starting them too.
Give me the Rams.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one.
yeah, y'all are crazy.
I don't know. The Rams are gonna surprise some people, I think, and play really good.
Just because that staph infection is about to put the staph infection all over.
I've never heard somebody call Stafford the
Staph infection is crazy.
You probably would hate that.
Oh yeah, that's ugly. But hey,
Bills -4 though. I'm probably gonna lean the Bills, but it's gonna be interesting. I think they could be in a little bit of a dogfight.
Yeah.
We'll see though. I mean, Rams got to win. I forget they're the other team in that crazy division with the Seahawks and the Niners and the Cardinals. So I mean, the Rams still could win that division. They just got to win this game.
yeah,
So the last game I wanted to talk about was Chargers Chiefs. It's a rivalry. Chargers at the Chiefs. They're 8-4. Chiefs are 11-1. Is there any way that the Chargers pull this upset off?
yeah, Lad McConkey.
I mean,
At night.
yeah. I
Sunday
mean,
night
that's
football.
Cody said it himself. Lad McConkey.
Give me Herbert, McConkey, and the boys to put the McSpanking on them Chiefs.
Now the Chiefs, they got that weird magic going
They're
on.
looking a little fraudulent besides this
somehow
little
win
ref magic.
They somehow win every game, but the Chargers got that defense, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they look pretty nice.
Well, I need Travis to have at least 2 tutties, so.
Nah, not happening.
Nah, dude, he ain't getting that.
He ain't getting.
Derwin James gonna lock him up.
Mm-mm.
I'm
I don't
thinking
want it.
there's a chance that Pacheco kind of runs all over this Chargers defense because they do give up rushing yards.
Don't you have Pacheco, Cody?
Yeah, don't you have him?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
You
gonna
should put him in.
I'm gonna say Pacheco has a good game, and then the fact that the Chargers don't have Dobbins kind of hurts them, and I'm gonna give the edge to the Chiefs, and I hate to say it.
Nope. Give me McConkinator and Herbie.
Pacheco projected 11.
Yeah, I just think he'll play pretty solid. Get back to his old self a little bit.
I like the upset.
I mean, hey, if you don't want to, I mean, hey, you want Tony Pollard? I'll give you Tony for Pacheco.
That's crazy.
I'll give you Rico for Pacheco.
Rico? No.
I'll take them both.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you can have them.
So Bama and North Carolina playing basketball in 3 minutes, Cody, at North Carolina.
Huge game.
That's actually going to be a gigantic game.
Massive.
What's North Carolina? Are they ranked? I'm sure they're ranked.
They're
yeah.
number 20, but they've lost 3 games already. So they lost
What are
to
y'all?
Auburn. We're number 10. Auburn is undefeated, number 2 in the country. They just beat North Carolina not too long ago. Yeah, where have you been?
I've been under a rock, apparently.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, college basketball. The SEC and the ACC are in a challenge right now, and yesterday the SEC went 9-1.
Yep.
Because they're like that this year.
Wow.
Yeah, they got all the teams.
March Madness finna go dummy.
I swear. And I mean, Bama is playing a gauntlet of a schedule, just like Auburn. And I mean, literally, this is the craziest schedule I've ever seen. Let's just, because we have a little bit of time. Yeah. Bama played at Purdue, number 13. They lost. Then they played 25 Illinois. They won. They played number 6 Houston. They won.
Wow.
They played a really good Rutgers team with 2 lottery NBA players on there. They won. And then they lost to Oregon by 2 when it was kind of a weird call with that block that they called a goaltend or whatever. Anyways.
Damn.
And then they played North Carolina at North Carolina, number 20. Then they turn around and play Creighton, who's always good at basketball. And and then after that, it's pretty much a couple games, and then they go into the SEC schedule. But a lot of good teams this year. I think there was a lot of good teams playing last night. I just didn't catch a lot of it because I was out. But to say all that, does anybody have any crazy basketball takes before we get off the pod? It can be college, it can be NBA.
Yeah, Celtics are winning the championship this year. Not a crazy take, but just my take.
All right.
What a shitty take.
Thanks.
Anyway, next take.
Next take. The NBA Cup's going on. The Hawks made the quarterfinals. They're playing the Knicks.
Hawks are balling.
Hawks are looking good, dude. The Magic are looking good.
Yep.
Even though they don't have Paulo.
But Franz is
balling. Yeah, he's balling.
He is.
I'd say I haven't heard much about the Mavs. Heard Luka's fallen off a little bit from what he was doing last season.
They're still 14 and 8. They're 14 and 8, and they're number 3 though.
Just got some news. Lawrence is out. Trevor Lawrence is out for the season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, he got boomed.
That boy got destroyed.
Yeah, it's over.
Just popped up from Bleacher Report out for
Got flattened.
He's definitely just recovering that shoulder still. I feel like.
Yeah.
And that helmet, the helmet.
I think he probably will retire.
No.
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, Seth, the Mavericks are playing a little bit better, but the thing is,
They turned the ball over what was it?
25 times
25
and won.
times
Yeah, I love how
and
we're like
still won.
Luka's falling off a little bit, averaging
And he's
29 points.
yeah, still averaging 28,
Yeah,
29,
Kyrie
yeah.
averaging 24. They're still a good team. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're still a good team.
the one team that's fallen off is the damn Warriors.
Yeah, we were what, top?
They were top of the West. Now they're 7.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Hate
tough.
that.
Yeah, Cleveland's 19-3 ahead of Boston. Orlando's 3rd. Knicks, the Bucks are still right.
Orlando's 3rd?
Yeah,
That's correct.
yeah, they're really good.
That's correct.
I mean,
Wait.
there's no elite teams right now other than Boston, Cleveland, and then in the West, I guess Oklahoma City. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Houston's number 2. That's the surprise. Houston's number 2. They're 15-7, but it's only because they have so many damn players.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got young Savs like Sengun, Jalen
Jalen
Green.
Green and Sengun are all-star caliber players at a young age, but they have depth like in Van Fleet and Brooks and Jabari
Right.
and Thompson. So I mean, Tari Easton's even good. They got a lot of players. Cam Whitmore. They got a lot of good players.
Heck yeah.
Really
So it
good.
sounds like.
So Houston's back on the map. It's fun when Houston's pretty good at basketball. I think this will be a good playoff. I would like to see like Thunder and the Rockets are they're fun when they're good. So I mean, or NBA's fun whenever they're good. So
Yeah. That's a
we'll
good.
see. I don't know. Let me look real quick at the NBA Cup standings. I'm looking at it right now. It's just I feel like I'll tune into it because the Hawks are actually pretty
Yeah.
good. They made it out their
Yeah, they all
group.
are pretty good this year.
It's kind of funny they made it out our group C. Our group C was the Hawks, the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Bulls and the Wizards. But the Hawks made it out of that, which is unbelievable. They beat
Wow.
they beat the Cavs twice and the Celtics once. So I mean, shout out to the Hawks. But
Man.
playing the Knicks coming up Friday in New York. You know how Trae Young does in New York, man. So watch out
Oh,
for
that
him.
would be nasty.
Also, that dude had
NY.
22 assists the other night.
Dude, he's a pass machine.
He is, bro.
And he's
I
a
love it.
popper.
And just want to flex real quick. DeJounte Murray and the Pelicans came to town. His first game back, he had 7
Shit
points.
on. Yep.
They lost, and the Hawks absolutely fleeced in that trade.
Oh yeah.
So
I agree.
love that. Well, that's pretty much it. Anybody else got anything to say?
No.
I think I'm good, yeah.
Tuning in.
Yeah,
Thank
you.
appreciate everybody once again. We'll be back and recap these conference championship games and look forward to the playoff bracket. Can't wait to see the first 12-team playoff ever.
Hell yeah.
But appreciate y'all. And once again, this is the Muffed Sports Show. I'm your host, Hayden Haynes. That's Seth Killen and Cody Hart. And we'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, boys.
Deuce.